know I've done stickers before, but they were all done from our computer. So today's sticker tutorial is all done on my iPad. If you're working on a different mobile device, your screen's going to look really similar. The bottom panel might be scrunched up, especially if you're on your phone, so you might have to do some more scrolling left and right. So let's start off by going to Images. And I am going to filter to find either free images or images I've purchased. So now we can scroll through and find an image that we want to use. That's cute. We're going to use this little princess kitty cat. When I click on the image, it gets that green outline around it. So that's how I know I have it selected. Also, down in the lower right corner, you can see a little preview of the image, and when I click the add button, it's going to add it to my Design Space canvas. And there it is. Remember, where this kitty is located on the Design Space grid does not matter. I see a lot of people that try to move it up here because they're trying to save material. Don't worry. When you click Make It, the Cricut is going to put things to the upper left corner and condense space for you. To zoom in and out, you're going to use kind of a pinching motion with your fingers. If I click on Edit, I can see under Operation, this image is currently set up as a basic cut. If I want to make a sticker, I'm going to need to print then cut this image. I am actually going to start off by duplicating this, so I have two of them, because I'm going to show you two different ways to do this. So if I click this whole thing and I go under the layers panel, I can see all of the individual layers. There is a black layer that encompasses pretty much the whole design, but I can also see that there is a layer that's turned off or hidden because it has a slash through the eyeball. If I turn that on, it was on the other kitty cat, so let's go grab that one. Alrighty. So now you can see it turned on a black offset or shadow on this design. So if I want to change the color of that offset, if I select just that layer from the Layers panel, I can go under Edit and change the color, and let's change it to white and hit Apply. So now you can see there's a white offset around the whole kitty cat. So now if I select everything, and you want to make sure you have the entire thing selected, and now click the Flatten button, did you see how all the layers went from individual layers to one layer? That is showing me that I've flattened this entire design to a print then cut. It's going to print this whole cat and then cut around the outer edge, which is that white offset line. Now, if you didn't like how big that white offset was from the pre-made version with the cat, or if you picked an image that doesn't already include a shadow or offset layer, what you can do is click on the cat and go under Edit, and you can add your own offset. This is allowing me to make a really big offset, or I could scale it down so it's super tiny. Actually, I kind of like that. So now I'm going to click Done. And now I'm going to want to change that offset to white. And now you can see exactly where the offset is. I actually like my offset better than the one from the original. So again, let's just select everything by making a big window around it and click flatten. So we've now converted both of these to print then cut images. When I click make it, it takes me to the matte preview. You'll see that here I can change my number of copies. So if I wanted to make 3 copies of this project, it added more kitty cats and even rotated it a couple so I could try to get as many as I can on the cutting mat. The next option is the bleed. Bleed is going to extend the outermost color of your design. In this example, the outermost color that's on the cutting edge would be the white. So I'm not really going to see the bleed or that extension because it's white. If I was doing these kitties and wanted them to cut right up to the edge of the cat's head and not have that offset on there, then for sure having the bleed on would make sure that if it doesn't cut exactly perfect, I don't end up with white edges. You'll also notice that there's the registration mark around my design. That's the black border. That is the line that the Cricut will scan in order to know where to cut. I can also change my material size. If I was making these to be iron-on decals and I needed to mirror for my iron-on material, I could click the mirror button. Make sure you read the directions for your type of printable iron-on. There's printable iron-on for light colors and printable iron-on for dark colors. And depending on which one you're using, you may or may not have to mirror. I usually use the 4 dark colors for everything just because I feel like it gives a better, more vibrant color. So before I can cut these, I have to print them from my home printer. So I'm going to click the little printer print icon in the lower right corner. And it allows me to pick my printer. I am not going to print double-sided. I am going to print in color. If I wanted to make more copies here, I could do that. I'm going to go under media quality, and I want this to go best. And now I'm going to hit print. And you can hear the image is printing out on my home printer. For the next steps, we're going to be at the Cricut machine. So we'll continue with the scanning and cutting process. Please ignore how dirty my Cricut cutting mats are. So the first thing is we're going to take this piece of paper with the printed out kittens, put it in the upper left corner of the cutting mat. I'm trying to also show you my iPad while not getting a glare. So in the upper right corner, you see the Make It screen. I click that and it starts the double arrow button blinking. I'm going to press that to load the cutting mat. Then the next thing that's going to happen is that C button is going to blink. And that's telling me it's ready to start the cutting process. So I will click on that. And the first thing the Cricut's going to do is pull that mat all the way in, and you can see a little light down there by the blade. That is actually scanning the registration marks, and you can see on the Design Space screen that I just showed, it says scanning in process, and that's detecting the lines. So that's good. We want it to detect those lines. If you're ever having detection problems, it could be that you need more light in your space. Your paper could be shiny and glossy, and you're getting some reflection off of that, so the Cricut isn't able to pick up on the sensor marks. So there's some different troubleshooting things on my website. Just head over there and do print then cut troubleshooting, and you'll find all my different things to go and help you when you're not picking up the registration marks. So after it's done scanning, it now is going to go back and start cutting. And it knows exactly where you want it to cut because it scanned those registration marks. If you had just printed this outside of Design Space and you didn't have those registration marks, it wouldn't know where to cut. So this is why you need those registration marks. I do want to mention, I just printed these out on regular copy paper since this was just for demo purpose. But yes, you would do this on sticker paper. And then when it cuts through, it should only cut through the top layer, and then you'll be able to peel these right off the backing. I had it set for paper, so that's why it's cut all the way through. Before you go, make sure to like, subscribe, and comment below. I love to hear from you.